Hi everyone and welcome to Jack and Cat Adventures. Today we're going to be making iced pumpkin cookies. So let's get started. In a mixing bowl you're going to put a cup of sugar and 1 cup of unsalted butter. And make sure your butter is at room temperature so it'll mix easier. And we're going to cream this until it's light and fluffy. Alright, now that our butter and sugar is beating, let's get on to our dry ingredients. In this other bowl, you're going to put in 2 cups of flour, all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of salt, and a half a teaspoon of baking soda. And then 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And a half a teaspoon of freshly grated nutmeg. Now, if you don't have that, you can just use the dried ground nutmeg. Don't stress yourself out. But you will need a grater of some sort with your fresh nutmeg. I can't find my nutmeg grater, so I'm just going to use my other bigger grater. We need a half a teaspoon of that. Perfect. There we go. Alright, then we're going to whisk this all together. Alright, now we're going to scrape our bowl. Remember, you got to keep scraping your bowl. Starting to get light and fluffy. This is a very important step when they say to get it light and fluffy, because your cookies will come out really flat and not real good if you don't get this mixed right, okay? Alright, just mix this for a few more seconds. Alright, now this is nice and white and fluffy. That's what you're looking for. Alright, now you're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla, a 1 cup of 100% pumpkin. If you feel up to it, you can cook your own pumpkin, make your own pumpkin. I use canned. I'm not that ambitious. It all tastes the same. Okay. And then you're going to add 1 egg. And then we're going to mix this until it's all combined. Alright, now that our pumpkin mixture is all mixed together, we're going to add our dry ingredients. Mix until well combined. I'm just kind of turning the mixture just one more time. And now I'm going to add a half a cup of craisins. Now you can add raisins or nuts, whatever you want, or you can just leave them plain. But I think I'm going to do an orange frosting with these, and cranberry and orange go together really, really well. Just fold in the cranberries gently. All right, make sure your oven is preheated to 350 degrees, and then we're going to do the cookies themselves. All right, so now I'm using a 1-inch cookie baller, and you want these at least 2 inches apart. They will spread a little bit, okay? And you're going to put them in a 350 degree oven for 15 minutes or until nice and brown. Alright, so now I'm just going to stick these in the oven for 15 minutes. Actually, I'm going to set it for 10 and check them because it's been a long time since I made these and I want to make sure I'm not going to overbake them. And then I will tell you the total time when it's done. Alright, so now we're moving on to the frosting for our cookies. In a mixer bowl, you're going to put 2 cups of powdered sugar and you're going to sift it. You can just put it in your bowl and take a whisk and just break down the big pieces. That's all they're worried about, is like big pieces of powdered sugar being clumped in there, but it's fine. And then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of butter. Okay. And we're going to mix that until it's combined. Oh. If it's not the plug, it's the mixer mixing. Alright, we're just going to let this mix together. Now that our butter and powdered sugar is just mixed together, it won't be creamy or anything, it's just mixed together. It'll start coming together once we add our wet ingredients. So you're going to add 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla and 3 tablespoons of either heavy cream, fresh orange juice, or rum. It's all up to you. I'm going to use orange juice today. Alright, that's 3. I'm just going to let that mix. Now, if it looks like it's too thick to spread on your cookies, add more liquid. If it looks too runny and it won't set up, add more confectioner's sugar, okay? But do it in little increments. A little goes a long way. Let me just scrape my bowl. And mine is pretty thick, so I might add just a little bit more orange juice, but I'm going to wait and see how this comes together real quick. I'm just going to add just a tiny bit more orange juice. That's much better. Now you want to make sure your cookies are totally cool before you frost them. Mix this by hand for a few seconds. Mine still is not drizzle. You're supposed to be able to drizzle, so I'm just going to add a little bit more orange juice. I think I'm just going to frost them with the offset spatula, because if I put any more liquid in this, it's just not going to set up, I don't think. So I'm going to do mine that way. You try yours whatever way you want to do it. Just make sure that you don't do it so runny that it won't set up, okay? Alright, so now I'm just going to wait for my cookies to get done and we'll frost them. Alright, so I frosted the cookies. I did end up adding a whole nother fresh orange to the frosting because Jack said it was a little too thick. It overpowered the cookies. So I really thinned mine out and I just dipped them in and set them down. So you do what you want to do with the thickness and the taste and all that. That's all up to you, okay? So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And remember, you do you.